Just a beautiful example of our early Ohio architecture. And the concrete and stone pieces that he has outside are so beautifully aged with the moss. Look at all of those star pattern bricks, also made here in Ohio. Some of the hellebore or Lenten roses. And it's starting to drizzle, so I'm going to head on inside the shop now.
111 items, so
Oh, my word.
I am.
Oh, these are wonderful. They are, I believe, used usually for the early stoneware. They're stoneware bottles. Sarsaparilla. Yeah, sarsaparilla beer bottles. Look at those. Aren't they neat? Some of them having the maker's marks in them. And then, oh goodness, look at this beautiful stoneware vase. So it has that ovoid shape. It does not have a handle on it or even the mark for the handle. That is wonderful. Oh gosh, $42. Love it. And then this stoneware piece really kind of catches my eyes over here. Look at the decoration mark around the outside edge. Really pretty piece. Redware with a manganese decoration. He just has some absolutely gorgeous pieces here. Nice glass compote. And that's what I was saying in the video at the Hudson show. I think we're missing the boat on some of these things, and Bill has some of it right here. The little glass compotes. These are the kind of pieces that you can still sometimes, if you're lucky and you're looking often, you will find pieces like that in your local Goodwill. The early American pattern glass, sometimes referred to as EAPG for early American pattern glass, just hasn't quite hit our primitive market necessarily. And when I say primitive, I'm not, I think sometimes people don't like that term so much. It's early American during a particular time, often handmade or craftsman made, but not primitively styled, not primitively done, not, rocks and sticks and those kinds of things. I mean, this beautiful ovoid shaped crock, 3-gallon, I would consider that a primitive piece just because it's that home, farm, handmade kind of style. So, I'm trying to explain something that maybe doesn't need explaining. Do you know what I mean? Does anybody out there know what I'm trying to say? But sometimes the glass pieces, I think personally, would just blend in beautifully. If you're having a gathering of people, you don't necessarily want to be putting food on treenware plates or wooden bowls. At least I don't. And you'll see here in the other room, there are some beautiful glass pieces that also just work perfectly for that. Here's some nice early redware jars. Again, for me, I love these because they were used in the households. They were an everyday piece. They were things that they had to use, and some of these are canning jars. There is feather edge, a beautiful feather edge platter there in the back. Look at that sweet cat here. Almost maybe looks like a little Siamese cat. Gorgeous basket. And I should have said this right at the beginning. Bill does ship. He does ship smalls. So if you see something you're interested in, here again, another beautiful feather edged platter. That one is $125. And then all of these gorgeous pantry jars. A lot of the things that Bill has here in his shop are things that are just near and dear to my heart. They are like going back in time to one of our early American homes somewhere in the kitchen. These are things that, some of these things are more everyday people would have had. Look at that gorgeous pantry box. That one's $178. And this, a Berta Montgomery hat box, circa 1990. That one is $58. So that is not an old one, but wow, beautifully done. I'm wondering, with him knowing the name of the maker, if it might be signed. Here are some actual, real shaker pieces. Some from Sabbath Day Lake. Shaker hair. A hair restorer bottle, maybe? Sugared nuts. Yep, all little shaker pieces in there. And these wonderful chalkware cats. This one is $18. This one, $24. I really love how reasonably priced Bill always is on his pieces. There's another pretty hog scraper. Do I pick these up and touch these often? Yes, absolutely. And why is that? Well, first of all, I love them. I missed out on them on the first half of my life when I didn't even realize they were a thing. I don't know why I didn't know that they were a thing. But also because so many of our viewers have really started collecting them now. And I love to be able to point out the dealers that have them and are fully aware of the old ones versus the kind of well done reproduction ones. So I like to buy from people that I know what they are. There's a nice jar. That one is $140. Beautiful brownstone canner. It even has the lid. That one's $58. Very nice tollware box. And a sweet little table here. I love how it has the shelf below. Early stand, drawer, and shelf. That one's $185. Love that knob on there. Lots and lots of the Crocs. And pitchers over there also. Brownware pitcher, $55. Early Croc, $55. Very pretty, flat to the wall cabinet filled with gorgeous stoneware and ironstone pieces. And this shop, you've got to look up, because all the way up to the top there are chairs and posters and artwork pieces. There's one public sale. Beautiful piece of reclaimed a gable end of a home. Lots more of the feather edge pieces in here. Plates and platters. That one, the little serving platter there in the middle, that one is $78. I really like this graniteware teapot, and then the spongeware cups. Rebecca at the Well teapot. That one is $32. And here, this beautiful and so sad oil painting in an early frame, 1990. This was done by Jill Reese. So she was a local artisan. I've had several of her pieces. A corner cabinet of hers, an antique, is in my home now, actually. But this is just a beautiful, really stunning piece of mourning art. I love the sound of that clock behind me here in the background. Here, these are also Jill Reese pieces. They are fractors. Am I saying that right? Let me think for a minute. Theorem paintings. Those are usually typically done on velvet, and that is what these look like. They are done on. And one is 78, and the one on the bottom here is 68. They are beautiful with a collection of stone fruit. Kind of just, you have the painting behind, and then you have the stone fruit in the front. Here's a really nice set of the sugar nips. That one's $135. And again, something that so many of us are looking for and some collect are the tin rolling pin with the pastry board behind. And he has $440 on that one. That's wonderful. Love the winder here and the early hat. I wonder if that might be shaker, but I can't quite see. And then there a really nice sieve on the wall as well. And here, Anna Case butter beans. There is a shaker label that has been framed. Love those. I'm going to come around here, try to so that label, that shaker label, is $175. Again, there's some more of the hog scraper candlesticks up there. Some treenware pieces. And then here is an early 6-peg shaker, early 6-peg board. Now he is not specifically saying shaker on this one, so erase that. That one is $190. Really neat piece. Love the shape of those pegs. Love the little kitty back there. And again, another nice Swift that is clamped on the table right there. That would be a winder. That one's just $56. Early Cherry Swift yarn winder, $56. What a wonderful addition to your primitive home. Really neat look. And this early 3 wooden spools, that's $58. And then this lovely basket, fabric lined sewing basket, that one's $65. So for those of you that are asking for more prices, here you go. I know that Bill ships, the whole shop is Bill's things, so it's kind of easier for me to be able to say it for you. Trying to see the little basket down below. Love this shape. Really neat little basket. Early small gathering basket, that's $42. Here are these beautiful little button-up shoes. Those are $225. Like I've said so many times, if you find them in red, you want to grab them because they are so rare. They will always, the price on them will always be more dear because of the fact that they are red. And then here is this wonderful early puzzle. That's a zebra on this side, but they are 9 blocks that make up this puzzle. So each side of the blocks have a different design or a different completed puzzle. And like I said, that one is $46. We saw some wonderful ones at the large ones and Christmas ones at the Hudson show. If you haven't seen that video yet, you definitely want to check it out. Here is a 6-arm wood and iron chandelier. Bill has $145 on that one. Wonderful, wonderful prices. Here is an early boy's vest with the little hanger. So cute, $78. Okay, so here's a perfect example. All right, I'm going to show you here. These are reproduction wedding band hog scrapers. They're older, but they are reproductions. $68. Now, that's why I feel so good buying things from Bill. Somebody who doesn't know better might think that these are real and have them priced at a much higher price. These are repos. And he showed me part of the reasons how you can tell. So the handle here has sort of an arch on it. They typically were not. They would have been a flat piece of metal, not having sort of like they're almost shaped like a long fingernail. They kind of have an arch. As many times as this little flipper would have gone up and down, there would have been some damage to the underside of the wedding band had it been truly an old one. The flipper part here, this pusher, is really too large for what it is, and it's also made from not the correct material. And then the other part of it that he showed me was inside here. When you look, you see hopefully that will focus. When you see the inside here of this ring, how the two parts come together, that shouldn't be folded over along the edges there like that. Come on, there we go. That is not how the really early ones would have been made. So, little words to be mindful of and things to be watching out for. There's a little... Oh, there goes the clock. Little mouse trap. We saw a beautiful one also at that huge sale, like one I've never seen before. Beautiful ovoid stoneware jug back here in the back. That one is $265. There's some more gorgeous crocks, stoneware crocks with the wording all over them. Nice little high chair. Cute. With the stenciled fruit on the back, the grapes. And again, more of the crocks. So many of these, and the kitchenware that I just adore. Here's a nice early colander. That one's $32. Probably a biscuit cutter here. He has $34 on that one. A corn dryer. More of those salt glazed stoneware bottles. And here, again, another one of those examples. The tin pastry board with the rolling pin as well. I think it says here that it still has the Cambridge, it has part of the original label still on it. Lovely sampler up there at the top. That one is $275. And here, all of these beautiful early American pattern glass cake stands. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here he has. And I just love the look of the clear glass along with these, heavy brown crocks, the redware, the stoneware. It lightens something for me. I can't explain it exactly. Maybe I'm explaining it enough. Maybe you understand what I'm trying to say there. There's another really sweet little child's high chair. And more of the beautiful crocks and stoneware. I'm going to look at the label here. What does this one say? Gaudy ironstone platter. That one is $110. It does have some lovely baskets as well. More, oh, I like that dry goods sign that's up there. I don't see a price on that, so maybe that one's not even for sale. Beautiful tullware piece in a unique shape. Here, a foot warmer, early. And that one is $125 if I saw that correctly. Here, a pretty table with the really elegant legs on it. Has the little lip edge on the table. Tray top, candle stand. That one is just $88. Here's a soap dish, if I am not mistaken. I do not see a price on that one. That's unusual because Bill has prices on everything here. There was something over here I definitely wanted to be able to show you. Here's a lovely lamp. This one, to me, looks like a David T. Smith with the tin shade on it. I'm not sure if that one has a price on it either, but a beautiful lamp, beautiful example of lighting that we want to try to add to our homes so that it just kind of gives you everything that feel. And of course, we need lighting, so what a great way to do it with that early look. Here's a sticking Tommy candle holder. Really neat little shelf. Here, another early sampler back here. That one's really cute. Looks like a little deer here in the corner. That one's $135. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tour. Here's some stone fruit as well. Again, I know I had somebody just complain at me that I show these things, stone fruit and the hog scrapers, too much, but you know what? We have viewers out there that are wanting these pieces, and so I'm going to show them. The set of the cherries, that's $26. Extremely reasonable price for that. That's probably half of what they are going for right now. The little fig, I think, is 26 or 28. Don't quote me on that. The little banana, yeah, he's got wonderful prices on those pieces right now. Wonderful prices. Here's a really neat rocking chair back here. All right, well, I am on my way, headed on down the road. I'm going to be going to Gleaner Antiques next, so that will be in the next video. I have maybe said it recently or maybe not. I really hope that you will hit that subscribe button and share. So that helps my little channel grow, of course. But one of the biggest reasons that I ask you to hit that share is so that these incredible shops here in our area in Ohio get the visibility, and viewers from all over our country and actually all over the world get to see these beautiful pieces here and these beautiful shops. It helps these small shop owners keep their shops going. It helps these beautiful pieces find their next home. And I appreciate it when you hit share more than you can possibly imagine. It really does make a difference all the way around. So take care, everyone, and we will see you very soon in the next video. And the sun just came out. This garden, it is before everything really starts to green up. And it's actually such a fun time to visit this garden and other gardens so that you can see all of the, I don't know, like the backbones, the infrastructure, the bits and pieces of it that when the greenery all really comes to life up out of the ground, you just don't get to see anymore. Those hellebores are just stunning. And the concrete cats, look at the size of that large cauldron or bowl back there. The stone walls, and it's so in the woods right here. It's so shady that Bill gets a wonderful coating of moss, and it just adds to the age. This looks very much like a rhubarb cloche, but is probably a clay beeskeep because the top doesn't come off of that one. Oh gosh, I just love all the stonework. We have had just a horrible weather this year, winter with the winds, and again now most frequently with a meteor. It was just raining here a couple minutes ago, and now the sun is coming out. Look at those beautiful cats. Bill told me that he really just tucks them under an area where he gets a lot of the moss, and within several months they start growing the moss on them, and then he can move them around and the moss continues. Gosh, there are more of the white hellebores down at the base. They tend to be the very first flower that comes up. And then here, look at all of the grinding stones or millstones. The path, just amazing. There are some of the large ones. And then here the path going this way. And this is something I definitely want to do this year too, is put up just a little section of split rail. This one, just the two boards, so that you have, again, the backdrop. It is so important in the garden design to have something in the backdrop. Here are lots of the yarrow, but what a difference growing against that stone wall makes.